But yeah, and also on night 5, this is like, I already accept the fact that like employee number 1 is a killer. So, because on night 5 he says like, look out for like previous employees, like especially don't let previous employees in the building, meaning like that guy. I mean day shift guy, because of that shit that he said about like available because that guy got arrested and shit like that. Maybe it's like employees from the previous restaurant, but I don't know though, because he said he doesn't even know employees from the previous restaurant, like he only knew the owners, and he said like, well, maybe they're like, he didn't even know them, like he's like, I can't even get in touch with them, so yeah, whatever. And also, okay, the mini games, I don't know, man, I think people read in a lot to these mini games, because those little pixelated shits could be anything. The little mini games and stuff, like this shit is so pixelated, like how do people even know what it's supposed to be? Like some people say like, oh, this and like the little L-shaped things are supposed to be the dead kids, and this is supposed to represent this, and this is supposed to represent that. But how do you really know? You know? How do you really know? And so you're controlling the dolls, but how do you know if you're the bad guy or other guy's the bad guy or what? You know what I mean? Like, especially the part with the guy with the little badge and stuff. Like, I think that that's first employee. He's like staking out at night, like, and then you're Freddy. Just come across him accidentally, like, what is he doing here? It's not time for his shift, you know? It's like the middle of the night or whatever. Like, while he's staking out or preparing to do his murders or whatever. What's going on here? And maybe that's when they started to kill people, but I don't know. Employee number 1, I think, because he said he was complaining about the robots trying to come kill him and stuff like that. But, like, then the other guy, the phone guy, was like, well, that's supposed to be impossible or whatever. So maybe, you know, they were coming after him because he's in the criminal database. But of course he's not going to admit that. It's like they're treating him like a criminal because he is one, and they recognize that. But then of course to his boss he's going to be like, well, I don't know why they're chasing me, I don't know why they're trying to get at me, da da da. And you know, he's just going to lie, because of course he's not going to say like, well, I'm in the criminal database and that's why they're coming to get me because I'm a criminal. But unless that was his first crime, you never know. Maybe at night the phone guy puts on the suit, one of the suits. Maybe that's, you're seeing through his eyes when you see through the suit's eyes, and he's Freddy and he puts on the suit of Freddy. Phone guy comes to kill you in the night, and has all the others like on remote control, and he's remote controlling them all to come kill you, and he's coming to kill you too. And in the mini game, Freddy, and you're running around and you see all the pile of blood, you know, the one where you're chasing the puppet around, which is really the only one I've seen in depth. Like, I've seen clips of the other ones, but I really only seen that one in depth. Then at the end it leads to like a big present box, the one where the puppet lives. That mean that like it's leading you to the body, like there's body in there, or the killer, maybe the killer was hiding in that present, or I don't know, I think there's a body in there, because you see 2 things, the dead kids, which I don't, like I said, I don't even know if they're really the dead kids. I'm kind of speculative on that, but yeah, it's definitely blood on the floor. And which is weird if they said like they said the kids are believed to be dead. They didn't say anything about big ass pile of blood on the floor, but there was blood on the floor in the mini game. And then they went to the present. I think there's bodies in there. I'm not sure though. I mean, it's the idea. This is so fucking complicated. Okay, you are the owner of the new Five Nights at Freddy's 2 diner. You have 2 employees. They're the first guy, the criminal, the killer. Yeah, and Jeremy. So the first guy, you know, he got arrested and all that shit. He's taken away, so he's out of the picture. But as for Jeremy, see, when you come into the game and you play, you see from your point of view, he's talking to you, so you think that Jeremy is you. But actually, you're working from, when you think about it, you're working from midnight to 6 a.m. Pizza place is probably not open till midnight, you know what I mean? It's probably open till like dusk or something like that, like a regular time, like maybe 8 or something like that. Probably just not open till midnight, right? Your first employee works from open to close. You have a second employee named Jeremy. Jeremy works from close to midnight, because you're not open all the way to midnight. What kind of fucking pizza place is open all the way to midnight? It's for kids. You're leaving the messages for Jeremy, but it makes you think that you're Jeremy when you're playing. But really, when you're playing, you're not Jeremy. Jeremy already went home, and the messages were for him, but when you play, then you're not actually him. Like, you are the phone guy that came back the graveyard shift after Jeremy just got off. So you listen to the messages that you left for him, just so you know what to do and stuff in the game. But really those were left by you, and they were for him, and the only reason you're listening to them again is because you're like crazy, you know? You believe yourself to be a new person. You may even believe yourself to be Jeremy, but Jeremy was your other employee, and you are the phone guy. Then yeah, your first employee get arrested, so he's out of the picture. Jeremy works the party like you told him to, and then he gets bit in the brain, so he's out of the picture. Now it's just you. You're Fritz. And then I don't know how the whole fired thing works out. Maybe you're not Fritz. Maybe Fritz is really legitly like a third employee. Then you fired him. He worked, and then he was covering Jeremy's shift, right? So that's like he leaves at midnight. You came back at midnight and checked out like the place, and that's when you found that he was tampering with the shit, and then you fired him.